2, 1. What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of the Whole Space Podcast. It's me, Dion, also known as the Glad Dad. On this episode of Whole Space, we're having a conversation with entrepreneurs. We're having a conversation with someone who is a mental health expert, a licensed clinical therapist. She got a whole lot of letters after her name. But we're going to talk about the impact of entrepreneurial burnout and what entrepreneurial burnout looks like, what it feels like, how we can avoid it, how we can kind of have conversations about entrepreneurship and just what it looks like. So I'd like to introduce our guest, Angie Watts, also Angela Hubbard. Angela Hubbard is the founder and owner and the creative force behind Angie Watts Beauty, and also Dr. Lashaunda Lucas, who is someone who is doing wonderful things, beauty marks consulting,
counseling and consulting.
Thank you for correcting me on that. So these are two women who I know pretty well, and both of them are entrepreneurs, but I thought it was important for us to have a conversation about entrepreneurship because, Angela, you are somebody who, one of the first people in recent years that I can remember kind of left corporate and it was just like, yo, I'm gonna start my own thing, I'm gonna start my own business, I'm gonna do my own thing, right?
Correct.
Because it's 9 to 5, ain't it?
Correct.
Right.
Well, that,
right.
and it was also out of necessity because I was actually laid off from my 9 to 5. So after that happened, I made the decision that I'm going to control my own destiny.
Right.
There will be nobody else laying me off. There won't be a President Elon Musk taking my job.
This is before we even knew there was a President Elon Musk. Right.
So yeah, there won't be any of that. So if I were to close the business, it would be on my own terms. So yeah, it was out of necessity, and also like, yeah, I can't do this 9 to 5 thing anymore. Even though with having your own business, it's more like 9 and 9, or but it's yours. You're in control. So that's the difference. You're working hard for building your own empire instead of making somebody else rich.
Right.
So,
Cool.
yeah.
So, Dr. Lucas, you also are an entrepreneur, licensed clinical therapist, and all the things. Let's talk about, what the journey of entrepreneurship, because you still got 9 to 5, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Right. That's stability or something different.
I was going to ask her, let's talk.
Right.
How do we get there? Let's.
Right. So that check is coming, however many times a month. Benefits gonna be there.
Yes.
You know that if something happens, you get hurt, you can go to the insurance and all of those things. But you also are, like I said, kind of tiptoeing and teetering into entrepreneurship. I feel like you can be a full-time entrepreneur sometimes. So
Yes, come on, speak it.
Sometimes I feel it coming.
Speak it into existence.
So let's talk about your journey a little bit and like having your own therapy practice, but still like having a 9 to 5, right?
Yeah.
And finding that balance. So like how have you found that to be?
It's extremely difficult, but I want to first say, I think it's so awesome that you have someone who does it full time and someone who's like a part-time entrepreneur, right? Because I think there's always this conversation about what's a real entrepreneur. All of them are entrepreneurs, right? It's the struggle is just different. But yes, to have your 9 to 5, I have an LLC and a nonprofit, right? So I have Beauty Marks, which is my LLC, and then the Black Mental Health Movement, which is the nonprofit, as well as the 9 to 5, the full-time job. As well as the mother of 2 boys and the wife. Okay. So you have all that going on. So to balance all of that is super tough. It takes time management.
Yes.
And then it takes a lot of self-care as an entrepreneur because you have to something's got to be pouring back in.
Absolutely.
So you can have any of that to pour back out. So there's an ease in that you have the 9 to 5, you have the health insurance, you have the income coming in to kind of support the entrepreneurial efforts.
Right.
But it's difficult to manage all of that and still be healthy and sane.
Correct.
I mean, it takes a balance.
Yes, it does.
For sure.
So for both of you, what kind of inspired you to like start your 9 to 5? I'm sorry, start your entrepreneurial journey. I know with you, like you said, you didn't want to have to worry about being laid off, or and even for me, like I speak from a position of a full-time entrepreneur right now, where I've been laid off twice, right? And after that last time, I was like, man, I can't do it.
Right.
I can't. I ain't going back.
Right.
So how did it look for you making that decision?
For me, the decision, I wouldn't say it was immediate, but I kind of had it in the back of my mind. Like, I can't, I'm not 30 years old anymore. I'm not a young person, so.
You need a spring chicken.
Thank you. So I can't keep doing this. Like, I need something that's long-term and that's gonna benefit me, my mental health, and the family. So the decision was kind of already rolling. It was rolling, Prior to this, I was a project manager, and so that helped me a lot. I can manage different projects simultaneously with ease. So that made it so much easier, having those skills, project manager skills. And when I got laid off, they actually paid for us to go and get a PMP, which is a high-level certification for project managers. So they had the class, and they were going to pay for one test. So I did the class, did the test, and I was like, this ain't it. This is not it. So from there, pretty much from there, I was like, okay, I ain't passed that test, so so I'm about to just make it happen, make it happen for myself.
But did you already have the idea of what you wanted to do as an entrepreneur?
Not really.
Okay.
Not really, but I would say I was a low-level serial entrepreneur. Because before that, when we were in New York, I had another business. I did these high-end wedding invitations. So I did that for a long time, but I wasn't really serious about it. People would pay me, so that was serious. But I just didn't, I didn't think it was the thing that was going to make me say, I'm going to do this full time. So, but how I came to what I was going to do is, my daughter, who is 19 now, when she was a baby, she had a terrible case of eczema. So I'm sorry to take up all the time on this question, because I'm long-winded.
That's what we do. We hold in space. That's what it is.
So when she was a baby, she had eczema, and it was bad. She would like scratch until blood was drawn. So I took her to her pediatrician, gave her some cream that had a steroid in it, and he said she can't use it every day. It's a steroid. She can't use it every day. And I'm like, I need something every day, and the over-the-counter stuff wasn't working. Long story short, did a bunch of research at the old school library, back when people was going to the library.
Decimal system.
Yes. So I did some research at the library, got in my kitchen, started, just trying different plant-based concoctions, I should say. And one worked. So shared it with friends and family, and they was like, oh, you need to sell this. And I was like, nah, I'm just gonna let y'all, enjoy it and, help each other with it. Help your kids, family, whoever has eczema. So I went on, kept working, didn't sell the product. And then when the layoff happened, I'm thinking of things, what can I do? And I said, you know what? That eczema remedy that worked, let me go see if I can find where I wrote down. And I found that journal where I wrote down the ingredients to that concoction
Right.
that I made in my kitchen. And today is one of my best sellers.
Wow.
Yeah, so-
that speaks to like we oftentimes have the tools and we oftentimes have the things, and the gifts and all of the things kind of like right under our nose,
Right.
but a lot of folks don't know how to, I don't want to say take advantage, but don't know how to use those things
Right.
to their advantage.
That's right.
A lot of people are scared.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So when you did that, was it scary for you?
It was extremely scary, extremely. But having the support of my husband, that helped a lot. For him to say, you know what, go ahead and do it, and you know I got your back, and I got the health insurance. So
Just gotta keep that.
yeah, you need that. Oh my goodness. So yeah, so having him on board definitely helped. But had he been like, nah, we're gonna need you to get back in the office,
Right.
then I probably would have got back in the office.
So Dr. Lucas, you are someone who stepped out in this journey of being an entrepreneur, also with a family, husband, 2 kids, a dog. And let me ask you this: I would think, I know, like the journey of trying to manage a 9-to-5 and being an entrepreneur is hard,
Yeah.
right? Because you own them people's clock, but at the same time, you got
Yeah.
stuff you need to do for your own business. So,
Yes.
That's
you know,
right.
a report might get pushed to the back for. Hey, man.
Wait a minute, this recording.
I'm speaking to myself. I'm speaking to myself. I'm talking about me.
I didn't say it.
Listen, let me tell you something.
talking
Let me tell you something, man. When my last 9-to-5, right? I and also during this period is when I discovered that I had ADHD, right? So them people would be looking for me to have a report done, something turned in. I'm on the internet looking up how tall was Tupac, right?
Why?
Because that's just.
Why? Do we need that?
That is
I needed to
funny.
know how tall Tupac was. I needed to know
That's
at the time.
hilarious.
So I needed to figure it
How is
out.
that even going to help you in your entrepreneurial?
Listen, man.
He
So
had to know, right?
I had to know. I had to know how many points Michael Jordan scored in the game versus the Pistons in 1980. I just had to know, right? So I say that to say there's some oftentimes like things that draw us away from our 9-to-5 because we feel like there are things that are more important, right? And in the life that we live, you know, the things that we want to do are more important. So how are you balancing like getting everything done for your own business and getting all of the things done to make sure you meet the deliverables for your job, right? Because you know the man, you know, he need his time and he need his work done.
Yep.
But it can oftentimes be challenging because there are also things, and you've got a huge Black mental health conference and done all of these things where things are time sensitive, right? So how have you managed to balance that 9-to-5 and entrepreneurship?
So I think it's important to know who you are and what you can do, right? And so I do a lot, as a therapist, I do a lot of personality assessments, right? So if you look at the True Colors personality assessment, I'm a blue, green, green, blue, right? And so with that, the green side of me is about efficiency and productivity. Let's get it done. Let's get everything done,
Right.
and let's get it done the quickest way possible. Like, let's
Right.
be efficient,
Right.
right? And so I remember in one of my past places of employment, we did a time study on getting different things done. Let's say you're doing a person-centered plan, or PCP. In mental health world, that's the plan that you use to guide your work with a family or a client. It could take somebody, 5 hours to write one, because they can be lengthy. It takes me 1 hour, right? But I've always just been a fast thinker and a fast doer, right? I'm an Enneagram 3, the achiever. I am an overachiever. I've always been that way. So when people look, I'm 36, about to be 37. When people look at my resume, I look 75, right? Because I do so much and I
Right.
do it fast. fast, and I do
Right.
a lot and I do it fast. So I think it's important to know who you are, because I don't think that's for everybody. That's not the standard for everybody, to just
Right.
do everything, balance it all, and do it fast.
Right.
But what I do is I try to carve out time for everything. So when I do therapy, I do it after 5:30, right? Most of my sessions with people are 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, but then, right, so that serves the man. But then there's the man.
Yes,
The
yes.
man.
The main man.
The main man.
And then the little men that I have. So it's like, so you balance as much as you can, you carve things out. Also, I keep a low caseload. I tell people all the time when they reach out to me, I get people reach out to me and say, can you be my therapist? No. No,
I cannot.
I can't. I don't have time. I don't have space. If I keep about 6 people, I'm good, right? Because I really put time and energy into them, and I have to. I mean, you're taking on people's lived experience
Right.
too, so you have to balance that. Now, conference season from August to February, baby. I don't exist. Like nothing about me gets done really. Now we do take a family trip every December because we have to make sure. So we've taken the kids to Disney. We've gone to Costa Rica. We do things like that. Like get away for 7 days.
Okay.
But there's peaks where you don't have a lot of time to do everything. But the moments you can, you just have to balance it out. I mean, it's difficult, but I think with my personality type, it works for me. Because I get things done and I get them done fast. And I think that bothers people sometimes. Dion probably like, oh, that's what it is.
Right.
Because I be like, hey.
Right.
While Dion looking up Tupac, I'm like, Dion, I need, you know, he know how tall Tupac. Now I know what it is. See, that's, now I know what it is. You needed to know how tall Tupac. I'll give you grace.
I did.
You needed to know how tall Tupac. But you just gotta know yourself. And I think even with you learning, like you learn you are a creative. You would probably be orange personality type. Have you ever done
Green.
true colors?
I'm super green.
You are not green,
I promise you I'm
Dion.
green. I'm the greenest of greens.
No, you're
I
not.
promise you. I
I
promise
can see it a little bit in like the theoretical
I'm the
headspace.
greenest of greens.
There's no way, Dion. But are you green orange?
Yes.
Okay.
But only when I took the test, I was working in radio. So I had to be orange because Showtime was
Orange.
Dion
Well,
The entertainer.
100%.
I can see that.
Gotcha.
I can see that.
Now,
I'm
could
with
you
now.
change?
What are you? You remember?
We took that so long ago that I don't even
I
remember.
think you were blue.
Okay,
Like
I don't
emotional.
remember.
I'm reading blue.
Emotional, kind of sensitive.
Yeah.
That's a Pisces. That's me.
Yeah,
I'm
I think you were blue. If I remember
I
correctly.
see blue in there.
Yeah, I remember her being a blue.
Okay.
Yeah. Not gold, because gold would have got another job. Gold would have been like, okay, but
Definitely not gold.
Yeah, I see
No.
the gold. But yeah, I think once you know these things about yourself, whether it is zodiac or personality assessments, you can kind of figure out how you need to balance. That's kind of
Yeah.
the intel I use to figure out what I can do and what I can't do.
Yeah.
I would like to take that test again because it was
Years ago.
that was so many years.
Over 10 years ago.
And it
Over 10
probably
years ago.
changed. And
Right.
so if you took, like it changes, like you said, because of your role, right? I was blue orange until I became a supervisor over foster care and adoption. I had to become very green.
Okay.
And it worked for me. And I'm like, oh, okay, right? Like I was able to tap into some of those skills and
Okay.
maturity, becoming a mom,
Yes.
and all this.
Right.
stuff.
Yes.
Right,
Yeah.
right. So when we talk about burnout, because it's easy for us to burn out and not know that we're being
Yes.
burnt out. Have either of you experienced burnout? Let me ask that first. Have you experienced burnout?
Absolutely.
Okay. Have you experienced burnout?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What does it look like for you? Because I think it looks different to different people. What does it look like for you?
For me, it looks like sleep deprivation, lack of energy, exhaustion, increase in blood pressure. A bunch of things, but those are the main things, especially sleep deprivation. Yeah.
Well, let me ask you this. So, sleep deprivation by choice? So you're choosing to not sleep because you're working harder to get things done?
Correct.
Okay.
Because I have this thing with me where even though I kind of know that I can just get up early in the morning and finish it, it's going to be there waiting for me. But for me, in my head, I have to get it done before I get in bed. I don't care if it's 4, 5, I'm staying up until the job is done. So, so I lose sleep.
Yeah.
My spirit be like, no ma'am.
Go to bed. Right.
And that's what mine should be, because like I said, it's going to be there in the morning. Like, just get up earlier and do it.
Yeah.
But me, it's like, I'm going to do it now, and then I don't have to do it in the morning.
Right.
You know, but
I think for me, because I am someone who had the spirit of sleep when you die and all of those things, and hustle culture, which is such a big lie and such a huge.
yes.
I think for me, now that I've become more aware of like how much we need sleep,
Right,
I don't waste no time going to sleep.
right.
It'll get done tomorrow. It'll get done in 2 weeks.
Right,
I gotta go to
right.
I
sleep.
might go sleep right now.
Right. You know, and I got a young child,
Right.
and he gonna run you all around the world, and he gonna wear you out.
Right.
And if you don't get that rest, I think that to
It'll
me, I think a
impact.
lot of times you're hurting yourself more than you're helping. Because now,
Correct.
you know, we see that a lack of sleep increases the likelihood of you getting Alzheimer's and all of those things, because your brain actually needs time to
Right. Right.
recharge. I definitely have
Right.
taken on a position of, all right, let's get this rest. Like, let's get this rest, and comfortable rest too. Like, I got a sleep mask now with Bluetooth earbuds, and I put my little brown noise on, and we gonna rock and roll.
Love
and get
it.
The best
Love
sleep
it.
that I can get.
Love it.
But I think a lot of times as entrepreneurs, we have been trained, especially Black entrepreneurs, right? Because we've been trained and conditioned to think that we have to go
Yes.
without considering recharging.
Correct.
So tell me, what does burnout look like for you?
Yeah, I think for me it's oversleeping. Sleep is my trauma response, I think. Like, I want to go to La La Land. Like, I just want to turn my brain off for a
Right.
minute and just go dream.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
But I think I was just talking about this at another in another conversation about anxiety in Black folk, right? It looks different than what textbook anxiety is, because they haven't researched it on us, really, right?
Okay.
Burnout is the same thing. We become agitated, irritated. And my family makes fun of me. I don't answer no phone calls. I don't respond to no texts. And they be like, Lashaunda don't never answer her phone. But it's like I have to turn my brain off, right? I have to turn my brain off. I have to just sit and be quiet. And so I know when I'm burned out. And so here's the thing, like what I'm explaining is like maybe what I feel, but not how I respond to it. So I feel agitated, irritated, all of that, but I know it's burnout now. So what I do with that is I get quiet. What I do with that is I go to sleep. What I do
Gotcha.
with that is I don't answer the phone or
Okay.
respond to a text message. And it's not personal to anybody. It's just that's what I got to do to recharge my brain, because literally my brain is always on go.
Always on go.
Always on
Mine
go.
too.
And I have
Yeah.
to turn it off. And I know that during the day, I may have some peace, but my kids gonna come home and I gotta have something for them. So if I don't answer my phone during the day, it's because I just need to be able to be available to my children later, right, or my husband. But it does, when I'm burnt out, like every year after the conference, and well, we done had 2 conferences, I get real quiet. And I almost feel like in a state of depression after the conference. And people don't know this, right? So this is probably me talking about this for the first time. I have to get quiet. Because from August to February, it is 24 hours. Everybody in my life is talking about Black Mental Health Conference. Everybody in my life. And that's all I'm talking about.
Wow.
So I get depressed after, and I have to take about 2 weeks of not doing nothing for nobody, just me being, just me existing.
Wow.
Because I'm burnt out and I feel it in my body.
Yeah.
And I'm angry and I'm irritated. I'm all of those things. So I just have to get quiet. I have to pray. And I have to leave space for me now. Because literally I almost did not exist between August and February. Because I'm like, everything is Black Mental Health Conference, and I'm still doing therapy, and I'm still doing the 9 to 5, and I'm still being a mom, and I'm still doing. So I need to take about 2 weeks to just
To unwind.
and just but burnout is so real for entrepreneurs, and I think that even some people tell me I make it look easy. praise the Lord. But I'll be about raggedy sometimes, you know. And it's refreshing to have this conversation for people to understand it. You know, to know that like just because you can turn on, because I think I have like a showtime. I don't know what I'm gonna call her, but you know what I'm saying. I'm gonna call her something. I have a showtime.
We'll figure it out.
But it's time to go. I'm ready to go.
That's right.
I'm ready to go.
That's right.
But when I get home, I tell everybody I be in my socks. I have big fluffy socks and leggings. I put on them socks. I get on that couch with a blanket and I.
Oh yes,
we
the
done.
blanket. Yes.
We done.
And I think burnout hits solopreneurs a little bit more because, you know, we don't have staff that we can say, you know, hey, can you do this? Or, you know, delegate and give.
To the words out of my mouth.
Yeah, so if you're a solopreneur, you are doing everything. So you can really experience burnout like very often. And it's tough, you know. It is tough being the solopreneur. You know, I'm sure regular people with staff experience it as well. But I have to say, from my experience as a solopreneur, that it's definitely more intense for sure, because you're wearing so many hats. You know.
Can we talk, and I don't know if this is where you're going, but can we talk about the benefits of having, as an entrepreneur, to avoid burnout, the benefits of having a team? My God, just people to believe in your vision with you and take a little bit off. And I know sometimes teams they feel like, you know, I don't know, but like what you have to do as an entrepreneur, it's a lot.
Yeah, I think that, you know, one thing that we don't oftentimes discuss is the privilege of being able to delegate, right?
Right.
Being able to
That
delegate
is a
it's a
privilege,
privilege,
absolutely.
right? I'm reading this book, listening to this book actually called The Long Game. It's by this author named Dory Clark, and she talks about the importance of doing, taking time to do what she calls head down work and head up work, right? So your head down work is when you are grinding, when you are, you know, doing all of the things.
The contracts.
And,
paperwork.
right, sending out the proposal, and, you know, coming up with the recipe and doing all this. And the head up work is when you are almost like customer facing and you are getting new business and you're selling, right? And the thing about being a solopreneur is that you have to do all of those things yourself, right? Where if you are a Microsoft or Amazon or Target or, you know, whatever, you have teams that do these things for you, right? So I want to ask both of you, do you or have you gotten to a point where you have realized when you need to push pause?
Push pause
on the business.
Now. Honestly.
Because now in this space, or now just because of the climate of everything that's going on?
The climate. The climate. In my particular situation, because I sell a product, people are holding on to their money, and I can't even, you know, I can't blame them because there's so much uncertainty. People are losing their jobs. So, and then you got the tariffs and all of this stuff. So things have slowed. So it's like you have to now become creative and think about, okay, now what do I do? How do I turn this around? You know, do I now up the hustle or look for something else? I don't know. So yeah, the pause is definitely hitting me right now. Like, okay, so where to now? And this is 9 years. I've been in this for 9 years. And this day has come because of the climate. You know. However, last year it started to, I think businesses were still trying to figure things out. Things were changing with spending even last year. So I think it just got worse this year. But even last year, it was a tough year. Last year was a tough year. So, yeah.
What you got?
I don't know about a pause, but definitely a slowdown. I think right now, some of my initiatives, it is a go time, right? It's like let's push this thing now.
Right.
This is the season for it. But with the lack of team, right? Because I have a team for the Black Mental Health Conference, a phenomenal team for the Black Mental Health Conference, which I'm now calling the White Coats. But I got some. There's other roles that are very important, and so. But that's one initiative, right? And there's a lot of time and commitment that goes into that one role and that one program that we have, which is the conference. But there's so many other initiatives that I know we need to do.
Right.
And everybody has a 9 to 5, and other people have their own entrepreneurial, projects that they're doing. So I know I have to slow down because I can't do all the 75 things that I have in here without a team, because I can't do all of them.
Right.
So there's a slow down, thing that I realize I have to do. But I'm not gonna lie, I'm also like, okay, how do I build a bigger team then? Like, how do I get, how do I get volunteers? How do I get, people to push these efforts, because they have to happen. But yeah, I don't see a pause, because this is a time where I need to, I think, do more. But there's definitely a slowdown because of the lack of resources, whatever they might be, whether it's finances, team, or time, or whatever.
So speaking of time, as two women who have families, what roles have your husbands played in this journey? Because again, like you said, you gotta have time for the man, and you gotta have time for the man. You feel me? The man. So what role has your husbands played in your journey as an entrepreneur?
So, listen, my baby daddy played every role in my.
That man is a full-blown husband, first of all. That man is a full-blown husband.
He might need to be on the camera right now. So because I am super ambitious, and my husband is we have the same ambition, but it's different, because I'm more of a creative. My husband works in cybersecurity. So he does that.
Is he green or gold?
Oh, both. He's green gold. He might be gold green. But you knew that, right?
Yeah,
You
I
see,
did.
honey, pray for me. Pray for me. I love him to death. When our greens are in line, I always tell him, we could outdo Elon Musk any day when our greens are in line.
When they in
'Cause
line.
we can make anything happen.
That's right.
Oh my God! Listen, I wish I could tell y'all how we paid off $30,000 worth of debt.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
$30,000. I wish I could tell you this, but just how we do. But anyway.
That's another show. That would be a
That's
good
whole,
show.
listen,
Yeah.
when you can be in alignment and put them skills together,
Yeah.
God gave me the vision, and I was like, oh, we need to do this, and he was like, here go the plan. And we like, okay, and then we both committed to it. It was like a song and dance. Everything just lined up, and literally during COVID, within a year, before a year, and no, matter of fact, from August to December, paid off $30,000 worth of debt.
That's amazing.
My God.
My
Yes.
God,
5 months.
Okay,
Yes,
listen.
that's amazing.
But he does everything. So he is my CFO for the Black Mental Health Movement. He is also our tech guy. So if you come to any Black Mental Health conference, he in that tech booth, okay? And he creates the visuals that you see on the screen. So, but he literally does anything. Like if we need printing, if we need to run here, run there, pick up this, do this, research that. He's like a CFO CEO. Like he's with me on that. And he's like, listen, it ain't my thing, but it's your thing and you're my thing.
Right.
So whatever you want to do, we're gonna do. And I always have to balance that with, he may not be as excited about it as I am.
Right.
Because I could talk about it all day, every day. He'd be like, okay, baby, we done talked about it for 23 hours of the day.
Right.
No. You come here. Come here.
Let's
Come here.
do something else.
Come here. You ran my mind. Come here. Come here. You ran my mind. Nope. Come on. Have a seat on the couch, sir. Have a seat on the couch, son. Come on. Make yourself at home. Yep. You ran my mind. Don't worry. We'll get you.
Your heart, sir. You're the man of life. What just happened in your heart?
No. So
Tell us about
let me introduce Mr. Marcel Mercer.
We've talked.
I want to hold space for Mr. Mercer, and I want you to tell me what it is like being on the other side of that, because you, sir, are. You, sir, as I told you the other day, you are the muscle behind the hustle. the car don't move without the engine, right? And we are sitting in a space, Missy Lane's Assembly Room, that is a
Beautiful
black-owned
Beautiful space.
jazz club. It is all things, and your partner in life is also your partner in business, right? and that woman is Dr. Cicely Mitchell, who I was thinking of as you were talking.
Yeah.
So I want you to tell me what it is like to be on the other side of that. Welcome to therapy.
Listen, I am licensed if you need the support, sir. I'm just licensed. We're going to take care of you in this case. Go ahead.
It's okay. I would say I never met anyone as high functioning as her mentally. Like, she's a thinker, a doer. If she wants it done, she wants it done right then. She doesn't want it done 2 days later. 2 minutes later, she wants me to handle it then and there. So you just gotta have an open mind. I mean, really, I had to remove my ego. That's the biggest thing. Because men, we have an ego where it's like, you can't tell me what to do. Not in a negative way, but just, when some of us come from a family where we didn't have someone to really, take a order that was compassionate the way they said it. It was just do what I tell you to do.
Right.
And that was me. My upbringing was rough. So when I hear her, tell me do this or do that, a little bit of me triggers where it's like, this sounds like this person. But she's telling me because she wants it done, and it's going to help the business or help her. But yeah, Cicely talks about ideas over and over and over.
She's definitely green too.
Yes, and again, someone who had a rough upbringing, my aunt that's who raised me, she used to tell us the same thing over and over and over. So naturally, I don't want to talk about the same things over and over. I just want to be done with it, move forward. But I understand that her perspective is different, right? She's not saying it to badger me or saying it to kick me down. She's just saying it because she just let me know, like, this is on my mind, this is on my spirit.
Her brain can't function without getting it out.
Exactly.
For sure.
And then there's also, flip side of that, also it's kind of a tug of war because I watch her sometimes struggle with people not understanding her vision and not respecting her vision. So then it kind of creates this battle within herself to where it's like she doesn't want to be, she doesn't want to create anymore. But that's where it's my job, understanding that she's creative. I have to keep motivating. No, you have to keep going. You have to keep going. Just go. Don't worry about what people say. Don't worry about the negative people because you're not going to please everybody.
For sure.
Yeah.
That's
As
right.
we know.
I will say, the group of people that has surprised me in its most beautiful space are us. Because I think we, as a people, have this expectation that is unrealistic sometimes. And I feel like people don't take the time to really study who she is. They want to talk to her and take her time, but they don't really listen and understand who she is.
Right.
I do a lot of listening when it comes to C. I don't really, like, if she asks for my opinion, which she does, that's another thing I had to realize. Like, she's calling to ask my opinion. It could be as simple, you want chicken or beef? Just get what you want.
Right,
Like,
for sure.
but she wants, my opinion. So, again, it's an ego thing. I had to take my ego out of it and be like, be happy that someone is actually calling you to say, what do you think about this, right? Give you an example. Yesterday, the event you did, I'm doing my thing, literally came up, hey, Showtime said this and this, and then you text me. So it's just like, for me, it's like double communication,
Right.
but I understand she needs to let me know that detail because that's how she communicates. She wants to close the loop.
So let me ask this: you talk about the death of ego, right? And I think that is something that we specifically as men struggle with, right? And when you have a partner who is successful, who is accomplished, who has her own dreams and her own visions, what is the process for killing your ego? Because if you don't kill your ego, that could potentially kill your relationship, right? Because your husbands both could have said, James Evans said the kitchen and the bedroom. That's what a woman's supposed to be. That's what James said. That's what James said. James Evans said the kitchen and the bedroom. Florida, the kitchen and the bedroom.
I don't know him.
No, you too young to watch Good Times. I'm sorry.
No, I know, but I'm saying I don't know.
Right. So what does the process of killing your ego look like?
It's very simple. I'm a simple person. I go by simple laws and simple rules. Just kill it. Because you got to look at the bigger picture. I'm winning because she's winning.
Yes, sir.
Come on.
So if I never was in part of life where I was with somebody that won or wanted to win the same amount of energy that I wanted to win, then I'd be a fool to fuck it up. I'm an idiot, right? So you just gotta put it to the side and realize, because a lot of times I do want to turn up and I do want to be, a man and an alpha, but we're both alphas.
Tell you what, last night you knocked on the door when it was time to go. You said, "Boom, let's go."
It was alpha
When
energy.
I tell you, Cicely turned them lights off. She said, "Brooklyn called. I gotta go." I said, "Not go." I don't know what. I've never seen that part of the relationship. Turn the lights. Hit the lights. I gotta go. Brooklyn called. Put the back on. It was gone.
But there's a space for everybody's alpha,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
So in the business, she might be the alpha because this might be her vision, and you're like, okay, because you're submitting to the vision and the success. Your team, the union. But at home, that's a whole different space, right? That man may be the alpha. I know for me, my husband's quiet. He's like a quiet dude.
Yeah, my
so
husband
I know that I'm loud and I talk a lot. So wait a minute, there was something going on over there. So when it's in the business, it's like, okay, I'm alpha, and he like, what you need me to do, what you need this, da 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 da. But at home, he don't have to be as loud as I am for me to listen. You know what I'm saying? He got the answers at home. That man got the answers, and I'm like, what we doing? Okay. And now I have an opinion, but I know that I don't have to. Like I said, there's a Showtime and a Lashaunda for me. Like I don't know what I'm gonna call. I'm gonna figure it out. But at home, yeah.
It's the same way. Like, again, when it's business stuff, I let her take the lead, and naturally I'm an introvert. And I'm an introvert because I don't really do the small talk. So a lot of people don't know how to connect with me. If you want to know who I am, have a deep conversation with me. Just don't ask me how I'm doing, like rhetorical stuff. It's like I'm here, like I'm just like everybody else. I wish I could sleep, like I got a full-time job and I got a business full-time. And it's really only me and my partner, running this business to see it go to another level. So of course, I'm like everybody else, right? I don't really want to talk about the ancillary stuff. But if you want to talk to me, we can build, right? And you know this. So yeah, a lot of people think I'm just naturally an asshole, but I'm like, yeah, I'm quiet. You're not coming to see me, you coming to see her, right?
Right.
But, I understand that. And I know when to take a step back. It's like, this ain't, they come to see her. It's fine. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, I have the prize. You have you're trying to obtain what I already have.
That's right.
Right, so it's no even when she's talking to, because she knows a lot of males are in this business. I don't feel no type of way.
Right.
I don't feel all of the DJs want to talk. She literally, they talk to her and then she reverts it back to me. Now we'll step in and be like, hey, just have them hit me. Like they don't have to keep hitting you, because they don't know these answers. And then we establish that. But yeah, like I got the prize. You want what I have.
Get it, man. Right there.
Hey man, this is why we have these conversations. Like I think holding space is so much bigger than what it is on the surface, right? It oftentimes leads to other conversations and other pieces of dialogue, right? And I think we will continue to do this. And I think it's important for entrepreneurs, which all of us are, right? Those who support us to understand, like, this journey is, like, it's hard and we all handle it differently. You know what I mean? Like, say you are an introvert. I'm an introvert, believe it or not. You know what I mean? So when I go home this evening after we do this podcast, like I'm gonna crash because I've been on for 2 days in a row. I was on last night. You know what I mean? So I have to like kind of recharge. what do you all think in regards to the example you all are setting for your young people about what business looks like? Right, I got a almost 21-year-old. You got 2 boys. You got 2 kids. You got how many kids? 4. Like, I think we are all, number one, our ancestors' wildest dreams, right? And I know for me growing up, I didn't have a lot of examples. I talked through this with my therapist a couple of months ago. I didn't have a lot of examples of entrepreneurs in my family. My mother, went out and was an entrepreneur, but she also had a 9-to-5 at the same time. But I didn't have some families have like the uncle that owned the barbershop or the aunt that owns the, whatever. She was the candy lady or whatever the case may be. I didn't have a lot of examples of those, but I've always tried to instill in my daughter and now my son the importance of being an entrepreneur. So what do you all think you are showing the young people around you about being an entrepreneur?
Well, my daughter, she's right there. She's 19. She's at Winston-Salem State.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Rams.
Shout out to the Rams.
So she doesn't want to be an entrepreneur, but she has been in the space with me, and she has seen good examples of good work habits and to finish what you start and go hard at everything, and that's what she does. So she wants to be a nurse, so she knows the importance of follow through, finish it, good work ethic. Like, her work ethic is amazing. Like, the jobs that she's had, like, she works for Chick-fil-A now, so
Good job.
so
Good paying
every
job.
time she comes in town, they're like, yes, we have a spot, we have times for you. Whenever you want to come through, we are here for you. So, and that's because of her work ethic, and I don't want to take full responsibility for all of it, because her dad has good work ethic too. My son, still got to work on him.
Boys a little different.
Yeah, boys a little different. But yes, just seeing, having, because like you said, you didn't have someone that you saw that was a full-time entrepreneur. I didn't either, so I guess where I got it from, I don't know if it was just something that was in me, something that maybe my ancestors passed on to me, because I didn't have somebody that was an entrepreneur around me and, that I saw like, oh yeah, but my dad did have good work ethic. I can say that, he was a blue collar worker, He was a construction worker. So I saw him get up every day, and it could be 2 degrees outside. He was going to work. No matter what the weather was, no matter if his back was hurting, he was going to work. So yeah, good work ethic. So they see all of that, and kids soak up what they see around them, things that they see happening. So that's all I can do is, show what I'm doing and how I go about it. And so far what I've seen with the 19-year-old, she has soaked it up.
Yeah.
So.
What about you two?
Similar, I did not. I mean, people in my family had a work ethic, right? That they worked for somewhere for years and years and years. No entrepreneurs, but my family, just a lot of poverty in my family. Even though having a strong work ethic doesn't mean you're gonna generate wealth.
For
You
sure.
just go and
That's
work
right.
every day.
That's right.
But I am that person in my entire family, right? I'm the first person to I'm the second person to graduate college. High school after my sister. My sister's almost 2 years older than me. She was the first to graduate high school. I'm the second. I'm the first to go to college and get a bachelor's degree. First and only to receive a master's degree. First and only to receive a doctorate degree. And even within my doctorate degree program, I'm the very first graduate from that doctorate degree program at North Carolina A&T. So I'm an overachiever, and I'm just blazing trails. And as great as that sound, right, it's difficult because you want to bring people with you, and everybody doesn't understand what it takes to do all of that.
That's right.
So that's a thing. But for my children specifically, what's so amazing is I have an 8-year-old and a 12-year-old. And so my 8-year-old is he looks at me like I'm Harriet Tubman, right? Because I have the Black Mental Health Movement. So he's like, Mommy, you help all Black people. And I'm like, well, we have the Black Mental Health Conference, and so, he's like, because they all know, everybody in my family's involved when the conference is happening.
Right.
So he loves to, he just thinks I'm just saving the minds of all Black people, and that keeps me going. But my 12-year-old this week, he is joining the Honor Society at his school, and they have to write an essay, and it's about leadership. And the prompt was, why do you want to join this honor society? And this blessed me. He said, I just want to be a good person. I just want to be a good person to other people. I want to help people. I want to be a leader. And this is something that, so he doesn't say in the essay, like my mommy and my daddy, but he tells us that all the time. He's like, Mommy, I Googled you, and all my friends saw you have a website. And Daddy's the department head of cybersecurity at Wake Tech, and he puts on a tie every day, and it's like they see it.
Yes.
We model something from them by the things that we do, and I just feel like, and my younger cousins and stuff that are going to college now, that are doing, I have two younger. I have a nephew and then a younger niece who has passed away now, but on my husband's side, who both have gone to school for social work. Just because I did. In his family, they technology people, they're engineer people, they're not the people.
Right.
They don't care about no feelings and stuff over there, right?
Right.
So, but those two have gone to get their degree in social work to help people.
That's
and my
great.
our nephew right now is getting licensed, so he's going to be a licensed clinical social worker too.
That's
Right?
great.
Black man doing
That's
that.
great.
Right?
Love it.
And so it just that knowing that you're setting that example is a responsibility, because me going to get my doctorate degree, me starting these initiatives, now my nephew AJ knows I don't just have to work every day to build someone else's dream. Like you said, I can build my own.
That's right.
I can build my own. So hopefully that produces more entrepreneurs and more and generational wealth for us. But just knowing that we have been an example is pretty amazing.
Let's do it. Mr. Mercer?
You skipping you?
No, because you got a little entrepreneur right now. That's little showtime.
I just wanted to break the cycle.
Yeah.
My mom was an addict, my dad was an addict. I didn't meet my dad till I was 9, from when I was like 2 or 3. So I just wanted to break the cycle. I didn't go like my sisters. Both my sisters had masters. My oldest, that's close in age to C, and the AKA, she is getting her doctorate right now. So I didn't go that route because I had so many other influences in growing up in Brooklyn. But I knew what hard work looked like. I knew that example that I had of the drug dealers was hard work. And I knew that my aunt wasn't giving me nothing, right? She didn't even want us there. But she did it because that's her sister's children. It's 3 of us. So I already knew that. I knew that at a young age. I got to get out here. I got to get it. I just, I took those street lessons that I learned in the street and turned it into corporate. And, I started my technology journey, communications, and it took me, from New York to Virginia, now to North Carolina. But it's just having that work ethic. I think I don't really know anybody that was ever from my family that never did something. Even if they had something with them, like an addict, they still went and did something to, feed whatever they was trying to feed. My aunt and uncle both definitely had corporate jobs, so I watched them go to work every day. So that's kind of, I feel like if you don't pass down something, then you wasting your time.
That's right.
So my children, they know, like I haven't seen my younger 2 kids since Christmas. They were here with us for Christmas. But I communicate with them every day, and I tell them, Dad is building a business, be patient. I plan on going up next weekend to go see them. But But yeah, it's just, letting them know that you are doing something, right? I'm better than my parents, and now you got to be better than your parents.
That's right.
So
That's right.
The speech that I echo to them. Even if they don't figure it out, I still say the same things because they may not get it when they get it. I didn't get it until I was having a child.
Right.
And I had to realize you can't do this dumbness no more. You got to do something with your life. So yeah, fortunate to get out of certain situations at the right time before I got caught up too deeply.
Right.
But that was just grandma watching over me.
Yeah.
She was
Yeah.
praying and letting me know, like, don't do this, don't do that. But yeah, I teach my kids all the time, like, whether you got a 9 to 5 or you're an entrepreneur, it's the same. You're depending on someone to pay you for something. You just have to put your mind and mentality where you're gonna grind, you're gonna do it, you're gonna show up, all of that stuff. You don't have to ask me to do anything. This is what we gotta do. I'm gonna knock it out. Whether it's paying me or it's not paying me.
Right.
I'm here for the cause. So,
Right.
I try to instill that in them because you're gonna do a bunch of stuff you don't want to do. That's just life. That's how it works. I didn't want to grow up with no mom and dad,
Right.
but I had to, right? But it made me a better person. It made me a stronger person. It made me want to fight for something, versus just roaming the streets. I could have did that. I could have, did what they did, but I was like, no, I'm gonna break the cycle.
Right. Right.
I'm gonna break the cycle, and then I'm gonna look back and, if they proud or if they not proud, that's on them. But I know
You do.
I did what I was supposed to
That's
do,
right.
And nobody could judge me on that.
That's right.
I know where I came from. I know where I'm going, and I know where my ambition is. I know what my passion is, and I know I'm supportive, to whoever is supportive to me. So that's kind of what I teach them is just keep your head down and worry about people. Worry about your family, of course, but people outside of that, like people
Right.
gonna come and go. You just gotta continue to be you.
And his story has a lot of similarities with my husband. My husband grew up in Brownsville, Brooklyn. So it was a lot of hard times. So his struggles that he had as a child and bringing that, it sounds weird, but it actually helped our relationship because it made us like, we're not going to that. We're not going back to that. Right. So it gave us both a certain type of drive. And especially him, he was like, you don't even know the things that I saw in Brownsville. So yeah, that made us both like a good team because he had that drive, like I'm not going back to Brownsville life, and then with me, I'm like, I don't want to do corporate America anymore. So we both had like a certain drive to get to a different level, and kind of hopefully could stay at that level. So that helps as far as having a partner with similar goals and dreams, aspirations.
Your story is very similar to my story and your husband's story. But those are what I call beauty marks. Like we think these things leaves us with scars and wounds, all these ugly things, but they're actually really beautiful at the end of the day. Those experiences develop something in you that gives you something for this place, this moment, this time to create. Right. And you would not have all of this drive, all of this, if you didn't have those experiences.
That's right.
The Bible says He'll give us a crown of beauty for ashes, and that's what He did.
That's
I tell
right.
C all the time, like, it's by default. It's by default. Like you ain't gotta ask me. You ain't gotta just tell me what I need to do, and I'm gonna do it. Just because for that same thing. I'm not going back to the things that I experienced. I'm not, I'm sorry, you can't sign me up. You can't. I'm not volunteering. Don't get me wrong. I'm a New Yorker through and through. Love New York to death.
Yeah.
But all of those things shaped me into just being resilient and not giving up.
That's right.
If you give up, all it takes is one give up, and then it's over.
That's right.
So I tell her that all the time. And she's a total opposite. She, things sit on her mind long, and I just tell her, okay, you fumble, pick the ball back up, let's keep going. You gotta keep going. You can't worry about what this person think. You can't worry about what people say. They can't worry about nothing. You just really have to full steam ahead. And that's kind of my energy is like, you know, transparent moments. Someone, you know, we only doing food because the last person who said they was going to do food, the last investor, dropped us. Yeah. So it's like, we're not going to let the business fail now.
Right.
Like, come on, like keep, like, and when it happened, I was like, thank God. Right. I didn't want him anyway. Right. So it's like, I want to control it. Right. You know what I mean? So once we start controlling it, the business is turning around.
Right.
So, you know, it's just like, you're going to do it yourself, just do it. It's no, it shouldn't be no second guessing. And that's what I tell my kids. Like, if you have to think about a decision you're going to make too many times, it's the wrong decision. Right? Because now you're trying to make yourself want to do it. Right? It should be natural. You're going to get up and do it. Right? I just told X yesterday, natural to go to the gym. You want to work out? Go. They shouldn't force you. You shouldn't be telling yourself, I need to go get this workout.
That was a different conversation. You started stuff on my toes. Relax, Pastor. Just come on, man. You know too much. No, we don't have space for that. No. Let's cut the show. Cut the show. No. You doing too much. Man. You get too carried away. You get too much. I invite you to the couch and you start doing too much. No. But I think that's a good place and a good space for us to kind of close out there. And, you know, I want each of you to hold space for an entrepreneur who might be watching this and tell them what they might need to hear in order for them to keep going. Let's start with Hubbard.
What they need to keep going, a lot, I would say, from my personal spirit, drive, definitely drive. So don't take no for an answer. So you may get 15 no's, but around the corner, there's going to be a yes.
For sure.
So don't stop at the one no that you get. Keep going. Keep going. Also, not everybody is for you. Okay? So it may appear that way, but just be very mindful of your surroundings. So, you know, it can look one way, but it's not that way. So definitely be mindful of your surroundings. Keep that drive, keep that ambition, keep going. Don't take no for an answer. And just keep learning. Like every day I learn something new about business. Like it's unbelievable. Like it could be something so small. Right. Like when I first got started, and I know I'm going off topic, but I'm just going to where to show you something so small. So the so small is once you have that business idea and the name, make sure you secure that domain name.
For sure.
Okay? Right. Because
.com, .net, .edu,
somebody had my name when I first got started, and they wanted $2,500 for it, which doesn't seem like a lot now, but I was not paying $2,500. I'm not paying $2,500 for a domain. Right. So I went with another domain name, and I'm like, I really don't like that. I really want AngieWatts.com. I really want it. So my husband was like, why don't you try to negotiate with him? Because this is when there was a bunch of domain sharks just buying up domains that they think might pop. Yeah. You know, so I said, all right. So I go to the negotiating table with them, and they're like, we'll do 600.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
That's a no.
That's a no. Okay. That's a big jump from 25. That's a big jump.
But it told me that if you're willing to drop to 6, then you're going to be willing to drop some more.
Right.
That's what it told me. So I said, okay, no. How about so then I threw a number out there. They threw 600. Then I said, how about $250?
Right. I knew it was $250.
They said yes.
Oh, wow.
So
that was the husband, you know, he's from Brooklyn. He wasn't sad. He would have told me $25, like, you bugging. Right.
He was like, yeah, won't you try to negotiate some things?
Right.
So so just small things like that. So I ended up with AngieWatts.com, and I was like, let me make sure I secure that for like 5 years, But small things like that. As soon as you have that, make sure you're doing your research. I didn't have a mentor. I had to do all the research myself, like everything by myself. So if you can find a mentor, that would be great.
Yeah.
But if you can't, make sure you're constantly learning, researching. And right now, research is a little bit easier. You have AI out there. You can type in a few things, and it's going to give you all the information you need. So just definitely keep learning and, stay on top of everything that's going on around you.
Yeah.
Networking is important.
Good. Tell them about your products, where you can find it. We already said AngieWatts.com. That's a
AngieWatts.com.
$250 URL. Go and visit that.
Domain. Yes, you can find me at AngieWatts.com. You can find me on Amazon, and I'm also in a few boutiques from here to the West Coast. And also, I don't think I mentioned, my products are certified vegan, so that everything is plant-based. I sell face products, I sell beard products. I see you with the beard over there. So beard products, eczema products, and body products.
Dope.
So,
Dope.
and on social media as Angie Watts Beauty on all social media.
Angie Watts Beauty. All right. Dope.
At Angie Watts Beauty.
At Angie Watts.
Dr.
Yeah.
Lucas.
I love that advice. I would also say, entrepreneurs, it's okay to dream. It's okay
Yes.
to dream, and it's okay to be unconventional. You don't have to do it the way everybody else has done it.
That's right.
And if the thing that you have dreamed, that God has given you the vision for, if you don't see it out there right now, create it. It's okay to create the space that you want to see, whatever it is. I would say also invest in yourself, invest in your dream. It's
Yeah.
not going to be easy. It's going to take resources. It's going to take networking. But it's important. Invest in yourself.
Yes.
And I love what you said. Like, even with names of things, go ahead and trademark them if you can.
Yep.
Even if you don't see how you're going to use it right now, trademark it, copyright it, whatever you need to
Yep.
do to secure it. Because if you dreamed it, I'm a firm believer, if God gave it to me, I got to use it, but I am not the only one that can do it.
That's right.
So
That's right.
I need to move on it. In God's time, I need to move on it, because if He wants it in the earth, it's gonna come in the earth.
That's right.
I just want to partner with Him.
That's right.
and getting it done. But yeah, I think that'd be my advice.
Yes, the
Social
trademark
media.
is important. It is.
It is.
It is.
Trademark,
I have my stuff trademarked as well. So.
So for beauty marks and all things Dr. Lashaunda, you can go to drlashaundalucas.com. For the Black Mental Health Conference or the Black Mental Health Movement, you can go to thebmhmovement.com. On Instagram, it's Dr. Lashaunda. It is also BMH Conference on Instagram. On Facebook, Lashaunda Joyner Lucas, or the Black Mental Health Conference.
Cool. Thank you. You, sir.
Don't be afraid to reach out to people. Don't be afraid to partner. Don't be afraid to each one teach one. That's kind of how I came up. It was always, whether it was positive or negative, someone always, told me or gave me the game. So yeah, I don't have no problem doing that. I don't have no problem, or gatekeeping, as they say.
That's what it is.
Yeah, I don't do all of that. If I see
Right.
somebody that needs a hand, I try to lend a hand. But I don't want to walk around acting like I know everything.
Right.
The moment that you think you know everything, life is done for you. You're finished. It's over. You can hang it up.
Yeah.
So I always keep that learning mantra about me. Where it's like, okay, I'm open to learn new things, experience new things. That could just be learning someone's personality, or whatever it is. So that's the big thing for me, is just letting entrepreneurs know, keep learning, keep listening, observing. People don't observe a lot anymore. They want to talk to you about everything, and just like Doc said, have an open heart to experience new things. And every idea isn't your idea, but you can make it better. You can find one idea that someone else might do and make it yours, by a small tweak. That would be the advice I give them. Just keep your vision straight.
Yeah.
The moment you start being like other people is when you get off track, because it's not natural.
That's right.
So yeah, just stay natural. The Creator already gave you a course. You just need to now go walk the course.
That's it.
I mean, so that's kind of how I live.
Wise words, brother.
Yep.
Appreciate it.
And I would say, collaboration over competition, especially
Yes.
for us
Yes.
as black folks. I think it is nothing wrong with collaborating. If you have,
And bartering.
Oh, yes.
Learn how to barter
yes.
properly.
Yes.
Just don't get on the brand because the brand is hot. No, if you have something to offer me, I will offer you back something.
Exactly.
That is how it is done way before I got on. So learn how to barter. I think in the black community, we don't understand that because, let's be honest, they've rocked us to sleep. We don't see the value in our own, so we think that it's just ours.
Yes.
All of the ideas are ours. They literally steal everything from us.
Yes.
Right? So bartering is easy because we already have these natural things in us.
Right.
So learning how to do it properly is not, take the bigger brand and attach to the other bigger brand. No. Put the brands together equally and make one big brand. So I think that's one thing I've learned since having Missy Lanes is people don't respect the barter aspect. They just want you to give, but they don't get nothing back.
Right.
And unfortunately, one, that's really not how black businesses ran. Period. And then two, we just gotta do better as people because other races do it all the time.
Right.
They do it all
Right.
the time. So we gotta get out our own way. Stop thinking that our idea is original, or we might start it first. Still, you can, and I'm taking my own words. This young man could tell you, we started doing live recordings and I seen somebody else doing live recordings. And they booked him, you know what I mean? I got in my feelings for a minute, but I was like, what? We started it, it's all good.
Right,
Go ahead,
right.
take it. I know the energy that we share is only for us. So I understand that, you can have that, right? You can take, one, you don't have this beautiful space that we record in, and two, you don't have the friendship that me and him have, right? So I understand that, but I understand that me and him are bartering, right? When he comes and shares his own personal time with me, right? I take care of him in other ways, right? So that's a barter. Pause. Yes, crazy.
You're childish.
So yeah, that was crazy. Thank you.
Yeah, really well.
So yeah, just learn how to barter as black
Yes.
businesses. I don't think we do enough or understand fully what that looks like. It's a give take.
That's
It's not
right.
always just a give.
That's right.
Cool.
That's right.
So I think that's a good place to close it and to wrap it up. Thank you all. Thank you, Angela Hubbard. Thank you, Dr. Lashaunda Lucas. Thank you, Marcel Mercer, for dropping in unexpectedly. We appreciate it.
It was ready.
He was trained to
Him
go.
too.
He was trained to go. He was trained to go. So y'all be sure to like, share, subscribe, and catch us on the next episode.
All black people get you a good therapist.
Absolutely.
Oh, yes.
Absolutely.
Yes, right
Absolutely.
here.
Absolutely. I had my appointment this morning before I came here, so I'm well versed in what I need to go forward for the rest of the week to accomplish some of my goals and everything.
Good.
So thank y'all. We appreciate it. Whole space.
Thank
We will
you.
check out
Thank
the next
you.
episode. Peace.
Thank you.
Peace.